We all witnessed a horrific act of hate last week in Dallas, Texas, on the streets of Dallas, Texas. An unquestionable, irrevocable act of hate. Now, I'm sure we still employ the images of the Black Lives Matter activists as they ran through the streets of Dallas away from the gunfire. What's ironic to me is at the same time, law enforcement agents rushed in toward that same gunfire. And I sit there and I watch that several times, as I do sometimes on CNN and Fox, and I couldn't help but wonder if these brave young men and women of all ethnicities who were rushing in to protect these people took a second to think about what they were doing. I wondered, did they wonder, and did they think about the fact that they were protecting people whose very persona exudes hate for some of these officers? I wonder if they thought about the fact that the very people that they were protecting at this time were demonstrating against what they stood for, what they were. And my thoughts were a very emphatic no, they did not, because that's not the way they train. That's not the way they're trained. What they did instead was adhere to their sworn duties. And subsequently, they paid the ultimate price for doing the right thing. What I think they would have said was the only thing. Good afternoon. Welcome to Central Valley Talk. My name is Ray Johns, and the name of my show is Voices Not Yet Heard, and we hope your voice will get heard today. I am very, very happy because I have Gary Clemente back with me today, and every time he's on my show, it's a wonderful show. It's an informative show because that's the kind of guy he is. He's an informative guy. Come on in here, Gary. Welcome back, buddy.
I'm back. I'm back.
Now, Gary has a lot of things. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. Now, we're live right now, so if you're watching this live, feel free to call in. The number will appear on the screen and talk to us about this. You know, we're adamant about what we believe. We're two very conservative Republicans. I have 10. I bought another one today. Donald Trump shirts. I wear a different one every day because I am going to keep on wearing these shirts, Gary, until President Trump walks into the White House.
You're part of the Rainbow Trump Coalition.
Absolutely. I like that. Absolutely. And I do have every color of the rainbow.
That's
so
right.
Come in and talk to us a little bit. Talk to us about Hillary Clinton. Let's start with Hillary Clinton today.
Whoa.
Okay.
Do we have like 18 hours?
Let's see if we can trim it into about a half an hour.
2-3 years?
Yeah. Because I realize, yes, we have enough information to talk for days. But talk to us a little bit about Hillary.
Well,
maybe about the foundation.
Well, she's obviously a woman of ill repute in many ways. I'm talking about how crooked she is. And recently, a couple of days ago, it's really interesting because we just had that decision by the FBI director to not indict Hillary for the email scandal, charges.
And I think we all know what happened how that happened to come about.
Oh yeah, my gosh! Everybody was just so miffed and surprised and shocked at the response that Comey gave. Here's this guy that was supposed to be a real straight shooter, somebody who headed up the FBI, who was a man of integrity.
I respected this man until that decision.
Exactly, and everybody wondered what. I was really, really expecting him to indict her.
So was I.
And put the burden on Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, to do something about it. I was really, really hoping, and it had to be. And the question in my mind was, what is Loretta Lynch going to do now that the ball's in her court? But now we kind of wonder about what was that meeting between Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton and the tarmac at the Arizona airport. What was that all about? And now it was...
It all kind of came together, didn't it? I mean, it's almost like they slapped we patriots, we Americans, in the face with stupidity. I mean,
Yes.
could we possibly be that dumb to not realize that that was not a coincidence at all?
Right. It gives everybody the feeling that the system is rigged, that the laws are made for two different kinds of people. It's made for the little person, and it's also made for the big people.
Absolutely.
They can get away with murder now.
And they have.
And
And
it's
they have.
reflecting against Hillary. If you look at the polls,
Oh,
that are
absolutely.
just coming out. The Rasmussen poll just came out, and Hillary is she's 7 points behind.
Oh, is that right? Last time I looked, it was they were even. But
Yes.
this morning there was another poll, and I think it might have been the Wall Street Journal poll that had them neck and neck.
Yeah,
Prior
exactly.
to this, Trump was 7 points behind. So
Right.
he is gaining. He is gaining. We need
Yes.
all the help we can get. Get behind Donald Trump.
Right, exactly. And as I was saying about the meeting between Bill and Loretta and Comey, you had to wonder, was Bill telling Loretta, hey, I think what we ought to do here is kind of take the ball out of your hands. What we got to do is we have to make Comey say certain things, you know what I mean? And that way you don't have to worry about anything, Loretta. You're my girl, you know what I mean?
I love it, Gary, and it's comical and it's true. I mean, it's something similar obviously happened.
Yeah, well,
You know.
I'll tell you what may have happened, and this just came out July 12th, a couple of days ago.
Okay, great.
And it's the fact that Comey evidently has some connection with the HSB Swiss Bank, and that this is from InfoWars, by the way. FBI boss Comey connected to Clinton Foundation.
Whoa. Whoa.
James Comey did not recommend federal charges, in part because he is connected to the Clinton Foundation through the Swiss bank HSB.
You're hearing it on Voices Not Yet Heard, ladies and gentlemen.
How is he connected to HSB and the Clinton Foundation? Well, here it is. Comey was appointed director of HSB Holdings in March 2013. He became an independent, non-executive director and a member of the Financial System Vulnerabilities Committee. The appointment was set to expire this year.
This is
So
our
he is
FBI director.
He's still connected with this. Why is the FBI director connected to something like this?
Is this
the
a little
FBI
bit
director
con- is
should
this-
be connected to nothing.
Does this smell of conflict of interest? Come on, people.
Yeah, exactly. So it went on to say that wealthy HSB clients lined up to shower cash on the Clinton Foundation, including Jeffrey Epstein, the hedge fund manager and convicted sex offender. Others include Canadian mining magnate Frank Gestra and Richard Caring, the British retail magnate. Okay? Now, the HSB is connected to the Clinton Foundation through a number of initiatives, including its Building the Corporate Coalition, Scaling Rainwater Harvesting for 21st Century Mexico, and other entities. Also, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, Morgan Stanley, and a number of transnational
Oh,
corporations
my
also
goodness.
participating in this. So this is very, very, very... Now, because of this, the House Republicans are calling for a special prosecutor to investigate all of this
Outstanding.
because of this Comey business.
Outstanding, Gary. Outstanding.
Well, I
It
didn't
keeps
uncover
going.
this. I'm just reporting it from somebody else.
But it keeps going and going. It never stops. does
It never stopped. When the Clintons were in office in the 90s, it was every day something happened with the two of them. Whether it was Bill or it was with Hillary. Constantly. It never ends. It will get even worse if she's elected.
Oh, my goodness. Heaven forbid. How can we not see this, ladies and gentlemen? How can we not take a really good look at this woman? I mean, we are the most powerful nation in the history of nations. And our president will be the most powerful person on the planet. Do we want this woman, this crooked Hillary, do we want this woman running our country knowing what we know? Listen to the facts.
It's really amazing because Hillary has the audacity to talk about Trump and say that he does not have the temperament to be president. Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. This is a woman in numerous books. And I wanted to read you just a few of them.
Please do, Gary.
There's been numerous books written about Hillary Clinton.
Now, excuse me for interrupting, but I want to ask, is one of these the gentleman who was the Secret Service agent for the White House at the
Gary
time
Byrne.
that she was the first lady?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want to hear.
Well, this is when she was the first lady. And he is one of many books that have been written about her. And to give you an idea what kind of temperament Hillary Clinton has, this is the kind of lady she is. Okay, I will not repeat the obscenities that she said in these quotes, but these are from different books. Okay, this is from a book, Inside the White House by Ronald Kessler. This is a quote from somebody that overheard Hillary. She said, "Where is the blanking flag, the American flag? I want the blanking flag up every blanking morning at blanking sunrise."
Oh, my goodness.
This is the way the First Lady talks.
Lady?
Here's another one. This is from the book Inside by Joseph Califano. Hillary yelling at a Democrat lawyer. She said, "You sold out, you blanking, you sold out." What a sweet lady, huh?
Yes, and she talks about Donald Trump and
Yes.
his language.
This is one, Ray. This is from the book American Evita by Christopher Anderson.
Okay.
This is Hillary talking to a state trooper bodyguard after one of them greeted her just by saying good morning. That's all he said was good morning. And she replied, "Blank off. It's enough that I have to see you blankers every day. I'm not going to talk to you too. You do your blanking job and keep your mouth shut."
But yet,
Just for saying good morning.
But yet, I'm told in public, she's totally different about the same people that she had belittled before.
Exactly. Now, Gary Byrne, a Secret Service agent who was a bodyguard to the Clintons in the White House, he has said that this woman does not have the temperament to be a president. She's extremely abusive. In fact, there was a time he said where Bill Clinton had a shiner under his eye, obviously because they had a fight in the White House. So there was a broken lamp on the floor. Mm-hmm. They had to investigate this because if the president is in danger, they have to find out what's going on. Mm-hmm. So the suspicion is that she gave him a black eye. The First Lady gave the president a black eye. Do you want this lady in the White House, folks? Does it make sense to you?
And this is only one faucet. I mean, it goes on and on and on. The emails, one faucet. Benghazi, one faucet. And it continues to go. She lied to everybody. I think what bothers me most is that she lied to the American people. She sold us out for personal gain.
She's a pathological liar.
You know, for personal gain.
She's a pathological. She has lied about everything. She's lied about Benghazi. She's lied about the emails. She's lied about her husband's involvement with other women. She's lied about Travelgate. She lied about Whitewater all the way back to Arkansas.
You know, I keep thinking that if Hillary Clinton gets off scot-free, then we ought to pardon Petraeus. And we ought to pardon everyone else. There have been people sent to jail for far less.
Exactly.
You know.
They ought to expunge everybody's criminal records. You know, I had a parking ticket a few years ago. They ought to take that off my record, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I deserve at least that much.
If Hillary Clinton gets away with all that she's getting away with, we should all be pardoned.
Exactly. Let me read you one more thing.
Good.
One more thing about this is here's a quote from her. This is to one of the state troopers.
Oh, okay.
Overheard this, and it was written up in the book by Dolly Kyle that just came out recently. Okay. And what happened was, when she was at the State House in Arkansas with Bill, they call him Billy, they had an Easter egg hunt for these small disabled children that were mentally handicapped. young, innocent little children, and they were having an Easter egg hunt. And Hillary had a hard time watching all of this. Was very impatient and very frustrated watching these little children handle these little eggs and what have you. Finally, she threw up her hands and she said, when are they going to get those blanking retards out of here?
Oh, my goodness. I don't know why I'm surprised at that.
These are just little. Now I can understand, her railing against adults. They're adults, but these are children. These are innocent little children
Challenged
that
little
are
children.
mentally disabled, and she had to attack them. So I feel like I need to defend them somehow, at least somehow.
I am so glad.
We need to defend what happened, and we need to not get this woman into office. Everybody needs to go out there and do their part to elect Donald Trump, who's a far, far greater candidate than Hillary Clinton will ever be on this planet.
If you want more of what you've had for the past 8 years, ladies and gentlemen, elect Hillary Clinton. That's what we're going to get, And the small businessmen, such as myself, my goodness, we'll file bankruptcy for another 8 years. We can't stand.
Exactly. I
We
mean,
cannot
I'm a small
stand
businessman myself.
Yes.
And the amount of regulations and laws that have been written up against small businesses and even corporations. My gosh, the corporate tax in this country is just
It's
sky
incredible.
high.
It's just incredible.
If we have Donald Trump's economic plan, and if you read it, you go to his website, donaldjtrump.com.
I encourage you to do this,
Read
please.
it. You will be amazed. Some of the top Reagan economists that worked with Ronald Reagan have backed Donald Trump's plan to the hilt. They said it will be amazing. The growth that will happen will be amazing.
That's enough for me.
Especially lowering the corporate tax.
That is enough for me. Ronald Reagan, the greatest president in my lifetime. By far.
Exactly.
And if he backs this plan, that's enough for me.
Oh, for sure.
You have to take a look at what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. You have to take a really good look at what's going on in this country. We need to wake up and grow up. We do. We are at war with the Islamic State known as ISIS, these ISIS idiots. We need to unite as a group, as a people, We need to unite. Put everything else aside, elect Donald Trump, put your heart behind and soul behind Donald Trump in this election. Let's elect a man that can lead us out of what we have right now. We're at a crossroads right now.
We are at a crossroads, and I think everybody has to try to find a way to do something.
Absolutely.
Even if it's talking to your neighbors. There's a lot of I believe that there's a lot of people that are reticent to talk about Donald Trump.
Gary, when you were on my show last time and you gave the people some places to go, I think we need to point the people, if we can, in the right direction so that they can see for themselves where we are with Hillary. We can stand up here all day long and talk about it, but until they read it and see it for themselves, I think there are some of them out there that I can't believe anybody's behind Hillary Clinton at this point with all that's known. But yet she still has a following. Those are the people I'd like to discourage. Those are the people I'd like to get over to the other side. Mm-hmm. So maybe you can talk about some websites that they can go to, some things that possibly we can do, maybe you and I.
Well, if you like reading conservative websites, and that's a whole other story too. We're talking about, you see, a lot of folks, I believe, the folks that support Hillary Clinton, if you were to ask them, what is conservatism? Okay, what is it? They will not have an answer for you.
Absolutely.
What they will say is something like, well, a conservative is somebody who is against abortion, who is against gay marriage, and doesn't want to legalize marijuana. But those are issues. Yeah. They are not the principles of political
They're
conservatism.
very vague and they're very, yeah. Yes.
Exactly. And those folks gravitate to people like Hillary Clinton because they know nothing about what conservatism is. Now, you and I, we've grown up with the liberal agenda on television and in movies.
Absolutely.
Throughout the years. We've been inundated with it. So as far as learning about what conservatism is, you can go to websites like, I like to read any one of maybe 1 to 15 websites. I like to read, thedredgereport.com. I mean, my gosh, if you want your morning news, you don't have your newspaper anymore, your hardcover newspaper, go to drudge.com.
Excellent. Please, I encourage you to do this.
Go to another one is Breitbart.com. Fantastic. They have bureaus in Washington, Dallas, Los Angeles. They have a bureau in London as well too. Breitbart.com. There are other websites like the Gateway Pundit. That's another one. Fantastic website run by Jim Hoft. There are sites like, you can go to Donald Trump Online, Donald Trump 2016 online.com. It will give you videos of what's Donald Trump has been doing. Go to thedailycaller.com. That's another fantastic site.
What was that again, Gary?
Thedailycaller.com.
See, I haven't heard of that one. That's a new
The
one to me.
WashingtonTimes.com. These are fantastic websites that you can get a lot of conservative information and news about. And they like to call these outlets alternative news, but they really aren't alternative news. They're speaking the truth. They are the things that we don't see on ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, PBS, CNN, all of these left-wing news sites, mainstream news sites. So there's a lot to be learned out there.
I encourage you to do this. I think that, in fact, Gary, hang on a minute. We're going to take a little commercial break here, and we'll be back in 2 and 2.
I thank my lucky stars to
I'm
be
back with my
living
guest, Gary
here
Clemente,
today.
and we're talking
As the flag
mostly
still
politics today. We're talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about Hillary Clinton. A couple of weeks ago, about Hillary Clinton, in regards to what happened down in Orlando, Florida, this is something that has bothered me for a very long time. Here's a woman who stands up the day after one of the worst tragedies in this country and says to the people that she is for gay rights, okay? And here's a woman who accepted $25 million from Saudi Arabia, a country that executes gays, people for being gay. A little ironic, isn't it?
Slightly. She's accepted a lot of money from many Middle East.
I understand the Clinton Foundation is upwards of $500 million, $500 million, $500 million.
Yes.
Have you heard that?
Yes, I have.
And only 6% of that
She's-
that's supposed to be for charity has gone back to charity.
As much as 80 to 90% of the money that goes into the Clinton Foundation conveniently goes to administrative costs.
Which is, in layman's term, the hip national bank, right?
Yeah, it's administrative costs. That's code for saying right into my pocket, right into my wallet. And here's a big thing about the Clinton Foundation. You're talking about the country of Haiti. They have very little there. Those folks have very little. Their
It's a
economy
third world
is-
country. It's a small
yes, it's
third
a
world
third world
country.
country. And then when the earthquake struck a while back, it just devastated the entire country. Those poor folks had literally nothing after that. You had little children that had nothing to eat. They were starving. Now, the Clinton Foundation, in conjunction with the United Nations, was gathering money to give to these poor folks to feed them, to keep them from starving. And what happened was they found out that much of the money went unaccounted for.
Of course it did.
Went unaccounted for. So these poor children literally got nothing half the time. The money was gone.
Oh, my goodness.
So these
Why am I
folks
not-
have
why-
no compunction at all.
Why am I not surprised at this? When are we going to wake up? When are we going to see where we are with this person? When are we going to unite as a nation? Get behind Donald Trump. Get behind somebody that can lead this nation out of where we are today. Like I said, we're at a crossroads. Wake up, people.
Yes. You know what, Ray? You know what I think it really is? It's gotten to the point where it's really all about somebody's right and somebody's wrong. Somebody's lying and somebody's telling the truth. It's not. There's no gray matter in the middle of all of this. Somebody's lying.
How many
and
lies do we have to
somebody's
look
telling
at,
the
Gary?
truth.
How many do we have to look at? I mean, there's, like you said at the beginning of the show, we could sit here for 3 days and talk about and discredit Hillary Clinton, one time after another. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. It doesn't take a quantum physicist to figure this out.
Yes.
It does not.
All you have to do is look into the woman's eyes, for crying out loud. Just look into her eyes. You can see that she's untrustworthy. In fact, her poll numbers are falling because of the fact that people are understanding and voting in the polls, saying that Hillary Clinton is untrustworthy. She cannot handle our nation's secrets or intelligence.
That's been proven.
She lies constantly. She's not trustworthy. So the people that are interested in Hillary Clinton really are just ignoring the other side of the of what's happening here. They are ignoring what's happening with conservatism. They don't want to know about what conservatism is because they think the entire world is all about social issues. Conservatives do not base all of their beliefs on social issues. It is about understanding the bedrock foundation of how this country started. It is about understanding the principles of conservatism.
Liberals.
About defending the Constitution
Absolutely.
and interpreting it in an originalist manner, strong self-defense, free market system. All of this, these are conservative principles that people that support Hillary Clinton do not wish to understand or even investigate.
You know, liberals have been brainwashing the masses since the mid-'60s, since the signing of since the
Yes.
signing of the Civil Rights Bill.
Right.
Since the mid-'60s. They've been brainwashing these people. These people, and I look at them on a daily basis, and they're still behind Hillary Clinton, and I think, don't you listen to social media? Don't you understand what's actually happening in this country? What this woman is doing?
Yes.
And yet, she still has a following. It's dwindling. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it'll continue to dwindle, and I think it will.
Right. Well, I think there's a great possibility. I don't like to make predictions on what the masses of people will say, but to me, I don't know, Ray. It feels like a landslide is building.
Yeah.
You go on to YouTube, people. Go on to YouTube.
Please,
you
I
can
encourage
see
you to do this.
Hispanics for Trump. You can see Latinos for Trump, Chinese for Trump, women for Trump, young people for Trump, women. It's just amazing. College folks for Trump. You got college kids writing on chalk everywhere. Trump, build a wall, build a wall. I mean, it's everywhere. You didn't see any of this when Romney ran for president
No,
4
never.
years ago. You didn't see it with John McCain.
You have not seen it
None
with
of
any
that
Republicans. This is the first Republican. I have been contacted by a group. It's a diversity group. They have Muslims. They have African Americans. They have Chinese Americans. They have Mexican Americans. They have every group possible that are for Donald Trump. It's a great group. I've been communicating with their VP for a while now. There are people out there of color who are behind Donald Trump because they want to see a change.
Yes.
They know we need a change in this country. We have to wake up and we have to grow up. And as I said before, we're at war. We need to unite, okay? We need to unite as a nation so that we can get behind Donald Trump. I like to say, let's run this country. We the people and Donald Trump.
Yes, yes. Well, it takes two to tango. Donald Trump can't do everything. We have to.
Absolutely.
We have to put him over the top. It's the people. It's the people that created this movement with Donald Trump. We created it. Did we create Donald Trump? No. He built his own empire. He built his life. And here's another big thing about Donald Trump. It's unbelievable. Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, all of these people from the socialist left, they spent our money. They're spending our money, risking our money. What has Donald Trump done? He has risked his money to build his
Great
empire.
point. Great point.
His money.
As he has risked his money, by the way, to run for this office. He's risked
Yes.
his money.
Yes, he's spending his money too. He's been spending a lot of his money to run this. He has matched a lot of the contributions to his campaign from little folks. I've contributed money to his campaign, and he's also matched a lot of it too. In fact, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, he came up, they said that he raised like $50 million in the blink of an eye. So people were worried about what's Donald Trump going to do because he doesn't have enough money in his campaign coffers. He's only got $3 million, and Hillary, she's got 42. Well, before we knew it, the next week he had $50 million in there.
The difference being, by the way, should Hillary Clinton get elected president, do you think maybe special interest, she's going to have to pay for some of that money that she got, as opposed to Donald Trump? That's all I'll say.
Yes. You name it, all of these people that she probably solicited while she was Secretary of State with all of those emails on the private server that she wanted to hide all of this information with. People like the Chinese, people like Saudi Arabia, a lot of folks in the Middle East, all of these countries that she's promised favors to through her emails and told, hey, listen, give money to our foundation. I'll have Bill come in. I'll have him come in and give a great speech for you. You know what I mean? He really knows how to talk. I'll have him come. You pay him $250,000. We'll put it into the Clinton Foundation, so nobody will know any difference. So that's how they've been raising this money.
It's just another way to launder money. It's just a fancy way to launder money.
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
And
And it's blackmail money, ladies and gentlemen. It's special interest. Someone's going to pay for that eventually. And who really, really pays for it are the taxpayers of this great country.
Yes, well, we've been paying for it for years and years and years. They're spending our money, our dime.
How sad is that? Did you give them permission? I didn't.
No,
I didn't give them permission to spend my money.
No, I didn't either. And that's why we have to be vigilant. We can't let these people take control, take power, because little by little, incrementally, they have eroded what we have in this country. They've eroded our freedoms and our liberties. They've taken these things away from us, little by little by little, to the point where one day, they want to take away our Second Amendment rights. They want our guns taken away from us.
Absolutely.
They don't want us to defend ourselves because they know that was the start of this country. The British against us, they wanted us defenseless. And we fought and we fought and fought and we took over, and it's because we were armed. We were armed and we could defend ourselves, and and they know that. People on the left know that. They don't care about people, dying in the streets and what have you, and being so merciful to. They want our guns. They want us defenseless, and they're not going to do it.
Speaking of the second, I'm so glad you brought that up. Speaking of your Second Amendment rights, I encourage everyone to exercise your Second Amendment rights. Protect yourself and do it the right way. Get training. There are several places where you can go to get training. There are people that will fit you with the right weapon, but I encourage all Americans to exercise your Second Amendment rights. It is very important. I think it's very important. And like I said, do it the right way. Get proper training. Know what to do with the gun. Know what to do with it so that it's unlocked, so that it's out of the reach of children. But get proper training. There are people out there that will teach you all about guns and gun laws, and I encourage everyone to do this. We need to start protecting ourselves. We need to do it now, ladies and gentlemen. We're at war. Whether people want to admit this or not, we're at war with those idiot Islamic idiots.
Yes.
And another thing, we have three foes on the other side challenging us. We have China, we have Russia, we have North Korea. We are at a place in this country where we need to be united, ladies and gentlemen. We need to come together as one.
Exactly.
This is the strongest, this is the most powerful nation on earth, but we need to come together to do that. We need to be prepared for what's coming down because we don't know what's happening. Do what you can. Exercise your Second Amendment rights.
Right.
Gary, we're going to take a second, go to a commercial, and we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, in about 2 and 2.
And I'm proud to be an American.
I'm back with my good buddy Gary Clemente. We're sitting here, we're talking about a lot of things, mostly the Clintons, mostly Donald Trump. And something occurred to me this past week that this is such an exciting time to be alive in America, you know, because we're a part of history, and just being here makes us a part of that history. That excites me, knowing that someday what we're going through now is going to be a major part
Right.
of this country's legacy.
Right.
It is. I'm excited about that. And every day, I mean, I wake up in the morning and I turn on CNN before I brush my teeth. And I listen to it from the bathroom, or it's Fox or somebody, because I want to know what's going on. And because Jerry, you know, and because my good buddy Gary here has been so informative, I know where to turn to get the latest information to help me with my show.
Right.
And I'm very grateful for that, by the way. And aside from having guests,
voice on your shoulder.
that's what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it's an exciting time, ladies and gentlemen, to be in this country, and we can, all of us, be a major part of it. You know, our future. I'm telling you, as an African American, as a small businessman, our future lies behind Donald Trump. We're at a crossroads. We need to make a decision, and there's only one decision to make.
Right.
Am I right, Gary?
Right. Exactly. You know, you mentioned being an African American businessman. You know, I remember a time when I was younger. You know, and I'm sure you do too, Ray. When black-owned businesses were very prevalent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Of course, I remember that.
But you don't have that.
Mm-mm.
You don't have that as much anymore, because you had people like Lyndon Johnson that came along and says, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to give folks free money, and we're going to house them, and we are going to institutionalize them to the point where they don't want to work anymore. And I think it's just criminal that Democrats did that back then. LBJ and those Democrats did that back then.
We're talking 50 years ago, back in
my
19...
African American brothers
Yes.
and sisters were led down the road to poverty.
The sad part about it is we continue to go as a people. We just continue to be followers as a people. We have to, all of us, wake up and think outside the box, think for ourselves, make some decisions for yourself. Don't go along with the masses. The masses have not proven to be effective. It hasn't worked.
Yes.
It continues to. We have 4 or 5 generation people on welfare. Wake up, people. Take some pride in who you are.
Yeah.
You know, this
Exactly.
is still a country of opportunity. Elect Donald Trump, and you'll see that we bring prosperity back to this country, and not prosperity for some, prosperity for everyone. I truly, honestly believe that.
Right, right. You know, somebody like Donald Trump, when I hear people make this absurd insult that Donald Trump is a racist, simply to insult him, simply to say something, it really it disgusts me, because you see the number of people of color around Donald Trump throughout the years.
Well, not only that, if you go through...
You know what opportunities he has given to folks, because they earned it. And
Yes.
they say that he's tough, but he's fair.
Well, I had a friend that just went through Trump Towers 2 months ago, and he told me personally, he said, you would be amazed at the people of color, ladies and gentlemen, who are in managerial positions for Donald Trump. And
Really?
You know, Donald Trump is a fair man. Now, you can believe what the media left, social media says all you want, you know. That's that's another thing. We're all prone to believe what we see. We have
Yes.
to... We do have to... Oh, hang on a minute. We have a caller.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. You're online. Go ahead. Okay. Hang on one second. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Go ahead. You're online. Do we still have them? Okay. Well, hopefully, if you can hear us now, please call back. We would love to hear what you have to say. We're here. We're your voice. We're your vehicle. Please call us back. We'll talk. Gary?
Please don't be lost in cyberspace.
Yes, don't. You know, we'll never find you, for one thing. We don't have a vehicle to go out and get you.
Right.
Anyway, I forgot where we were, buddy, before that call. Can
Oh,
you
we-
help
we-
me here?
We were talking about, you were talking about how your friend went to Trump Towers.
Yes, yes. And there were people in managerial positions for Donald Trump, you know.
Yeah.
We tend to believe what the social media says. We've been programmed time after time again. Donald Trump's a racist. Donald Trump is, why is the Ku Klux Klan back? I mean, how ridiculous would any person in a position of, even if it were true, which it is not, by the way, even if it was true, are we, hello? Go ahead. We have a caller.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hold on just a minute. Here you go, Dad.
You're online.
Yes, I was wondering if you had any thoughts on what the Trump administration might do to better the life of the average black who is having a difficult time during this administration.
Well, I've heard some astounding figures about that, about how high employment has gone under this current administration. Donald Trump talked about that, I don't know if you remember, Gary, a couple of weeks ago, you know, about bringing jobs back, about putting our people first as opposed to, for instance...
America first.
Yeah, America first. As for instance, I understand that Barack Obama has some ridiculous plan this summer to start hiring young refugees that are in this country, which is just absolutely ridiculous. That's not putting our people first.
Right.
Donald Trump
Right.
talked about going into the inner cities and creating jobs from these people, bringing jobs from back overseas so that our African American youth could find work, you know, and would have work. That is on his mind. He has talked about that on several occasions. So I honestly think that Donald Trump will be a benefit to all young African Americans looking to better themselves, and they all are looking to better themselves. Gary, you got anything to say about that? Great question, caller.
I agree. It's Trump is going to create jobs. If you look at his economic plan, it's you can't help create jobs. Though I don't believe it's going to happen right away. I think it will take a couple of
Let me
years.
get it back.
It will take a couple of years for
I'm
that
sorry.
to really kick in.
Sir? Go ahead, sir. Okay, I think we may have lost him. But by the way, I hope you call back, sir. I'd like to continue with this with you. I think it's a great question. African American youth are almost 3 times more unemployed than their counterparts, okay, under the current administration, under an administration headed by an African American. Okay, I think we have a caller. It may be the same one again. Go ahead. Sir, you're on the line. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Hi, Ray. This is Coach Ramon.
Yes.
Giving a call.
Go ahead, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. Are you on air?
Yes, you're on the line. So are you.
Uh-huh.
So are you. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm watching you, so I'm a little bit behind you right now, I
Okay.
guess. Hey, Coach, I was just calling. I was watching your show here, and I just wanted to say how proud I am of you.
Oh, thank you. This is my assistant baseball coach, by the way.
Oh,
and,
right.
and by the way, and I'm going to toot his horn. Ramon Simpson is one of the best baseball players.
Ramon?
Yeah, Ramon
Oh, I
Simpson.
like
He is
that
a
name.
great ball player. He can play any position. He can even pitch and catch, but his forte is just hitting the ball. And the reason we're at where we're at is because of him. Thank you very much, Ramon.
Baseball players have political views too.
Well, this man is very, very sharp. I mean, he's owned several
I'll bet
businesses. He's
he
a
is.
very smart man with a very smart wife, and he's just he's a wonderful. Do you want to comment on any of this stuff, Ramon? I'm sure the audience would love to hear what you have to say. He and I talk after baseball games, and we talk. It always turns out to be political. Like you, Gary, I have wonderful political conversations with this man. I'm so glad you called in.
Yeah, Ramon, lay it on us.
Yeah, you want to comment on any of this stuff as far as, well, anything that we're talking about, or if you want to talk about something else, I'm sure the audience would like to. He's a very intelligent man. I'm sure the audience would love to hear what you have to say.
Well, you know, Coach, I was calling you today just to talk with you about something else, and it dawned on me that you were doing your show. So I'm sitting in my office, and I pulled it up, and I see you on there, and I said, I got to call Ray. And I just want to tell you, you and I, we don't agree on everything.
No, that's what makes our
But
conversation
at least
so
we
interesting.
listen to each other.
Yes, we do, and we listen with an open mind. And like he said, we
That's
don't
right.
always agree. But this man, and he's going to probably get me for saying this. Here was a man who was an officer in the Marines. Okay,
Ramon?
college graduate, has a degree. He may even have a master's. I don't know. He is a brilliant young man, just absolutely brilliant. And he and I, like he said, we don't always agree with things.
Thank you for
But-
your service, Ramon.
Yes, by the way, and I've never said that to you.
God bless
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much for your service. We're very proud of all our servicemen.
Thank you.
But here's a man who went to Cal Poly, graduated, played baseball at Cal Poly, as I did at State, and went on to get a degree and own several businesses, and he pays a lot of taxes. Ramon, what do you think about, personally, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but about the situation that America's in right now with all that's going on?
You're asking me about the situation in America. I couldn't quite hear you.
Yeah, the situation about, and I know you didn't call to talk about that, but I thought, I get a smart man on the phone.
Well-
I want some opinions.
The hot button issue right now, Ray, is what's going on with the Black Lives Matter movement.
I agree.
The police situation in Dallas.
Mhm.
And
Both
it's a
of
lot
those.
to think about and a lot to digest. You and I both as African Americans, I think when we talk about these things, we try to look at it objectively. We don't talk with emotions. We try to look at things, straight down the middle.
Yes.
And we always come up with our ideas are a little different, but we're always trying to get to the same place.
That's
And,
it. That's very well. That's very well put, Ramon. Very well put. And you're right. We do.
So I just think that I don't want to go into all the trouble that's going on right now
Okay.
or those things. I know we don't have time, and I don't have time for that right now. But it's just I would ask people to be glad that we have policemen. I've had bad encounters with police. I've had good encounters with policemen. But
What-
the thing is that they're always there when you need them.
Yes. Thank you, Ramon.
And
Thank you.
and I think that's what we all have to look at the end of the day. We can't convict all policemen by the action of a few rogue policemen or even policemen that have made the wrong decision. We can't, just say all policemen are bad. And I think
Very
much of
well
that is
said,
going
young
around
man.
right now.
Very well said. And
Yeah.
correct me if I'm
You-
wrong, Ramon. Don't you have a brother who is a policeman or a relative?
I have a brother that's a police officer, and he's
God
down in
bless him.
Ontario, California. And
God
God bless him.
well,
Absolutely.
actually, he's not a
Every
police
ti-
officer anymore. He moved over to city government. He's a development manager now
Mhm.
for the city of Ontario.
But he was a
And,
policeman. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I just said he was a policeman. Your brother. Yeah. And now he's
Yeah,
in
he
the,
was a
yeah.
police officer in Rialto, California for a while, and he was a LA County sheriff for a while. And he and I talk quite often about these things, and he really enlightens me
Mhm.
on a lot of things that have gone on. What policemen face in their day-to-day work, and how situations come up where they have to react, things that the common man really doesn't know about. too much.
No, they don't. They don't.
And I'm not saying that there aren't police officers out there that aren't doing things, that are doing things the wrong way or doing things the right
Absolutely,
way. I'm
there
not-
are. I mean, we
I'm
see
not
that.
discounting those people, but in general, policemen are doing their job.
Absolutely, they are.
And, so I don't think that we should, as African Americans, condemn the whole police system.
Thank you, Ramon. Very well put.
know.
I'm so glad you called.
Hey, you want to make a police officer feel good, and I've done this. I've gone up to quite a few of them, and I've told them, hey, buddy, police lives matter. We've got your back.
Blue lives matter. White lives matter. Black
And
lives
I've
matter.
had,
All
I've had people
American
tell me,
lives
thank you
matter.
so much. Thank you so much for that comment.
Ramon, we're
We
going to have
really
to.
appreciate it.
We're going to have to
I've
go
heard
to
that.
commercial. I'm so glad you called in. I'll see you Sunday, huh, buddy? At the ballpark?
Pardon me?
I'll see you Sunday at the ballpark. I think I owe you about 3 baseballs. I'll make sure I
Yes,
bring
sir.
them.
Hit one out for me, Ramon.
He's very capable of hitting one out. I saw him hit a ball out of Clovis West one day. It was like a bullet. You know, it got out so quick. Thank you so much, young man, for calling in.
All right.
Thank you, Ramon. And I'll see you Sunday at the baseball game. We're going to go to commercial now, and we'll be back in approximately 2 and 2. Back with my guest, Gary Clemente, and we've got to close now. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. And
Thank
please,
you,
I want
buddy.
you to make a promise right in front of my audience here that you'll be back.
I promise.
Okay, we need that. Every week I do a little something to think about, and I encourage everyone. Like I said, we're at a crossroads. We have problems with the police. We have problems with African Americans and the police, and we have a problem in this country that needs to be dealt with, okay? So I've always thought, and I say this every week, the best way to do something great for yourself is to first go out and do something great for someone else. Hang on, I think we have a late caller. Late caller? Oh, no. Okay, well, that cut it off. Anyway, we're going to close by saying, please, go out and do something for somebody. Let's put this country together.
Good
Let's
idea.
help each other every chance that we got. So until next Thursday, when we joyously meet again, heaven's blessings.
CentralValleyTalk.com